gets on your nerves?
Yeah.
We're in hospitality, so everybody.
Yeah, who gets on your nerves? Let me ask the second question. Who do you get along with? So you think about those two. So who do you have in your head? You got someone who gets on your nerves, and you got someone who you get along with. Why? Why do you think?
I have to.
And typically, people get on your nerves, and the people you get along with, it's not about commonalities, it's usually about relationships. It's usually about the notion of personality. We all have different personalities, and today, what I'm going to show you is we have 4 different types, and we're going to have some fun with this. Okay, so you might have to move a little bit. Okay, I'm going to move you guys around a little bit.
Oh, no.
So the objective of the course is, what I want to do, I want you to learn the 4 types. I want you to understand the types. And I want you to discover the triggers. This is cool. The triggers that you have are built in. And once you learn this about yourself and about other people, you can relate very quickly to people. It's pretty amazing. When you leave here today, I want you to realize, okay, I can now relate to someone faster, quicker, and respond differently and better than I ever did. That's my goal. I am an author. I've authored 3 books. Protect Yourself, Mind Coach, and Unstoppable. My newest one's here. I have these ones here for you. If I have a bunch of them, so you can get through Amazon as well. So here's the fun. I want you to answer 2 questions. Are you outgoing or reserved?
Outgoing.
Outgoing? Okay.
Reserved.
You said
Leanne?
I'm talking about you.
Just give me a show of hands. Outgoing. Reserved. And do you prefer tasks or people? You guys own campgrounds.
That's
why we like it's like a task. That's interesting. And people. Okay. Is now we've described this as outgoing, reserved, task and oriented, or task and people relative. And what I want you to do is I want you to circle either on the top here outgoing or reserved. You circle one of the 2. So if you said I am outgoing, just circle that. Okay? If you said you're more reserved, then circle that. Oh, by the way, put your name on the so you know who you are. And for me, it's outgoing, so I'll give you my profile. And if you're task-oriented, circle that. Or if you're people-oriented, circle that. And what you're going to get is, depending on where you circled, you're going to fall into a quadrant. So for me, I'm outgoing and I'm people. So I am an I. D-I-S-C, and I'll explain what that is. So I would fall in that quadrant. So if you circled outgoing and task, you would be a D. Or if it was, let's say, reserved in people, you'd be an S. Or task and reserved, you'd be a C. Okay? And that's your personality style. Primarily. We're all 4, but we have a primary and a secondary, and then the other 2 are usually smaller. But you're not just one, you're a primary one. So my primary is an I and a D. Okay? So I'm a high I and a high D. I'm up here. Got that? Okay. So the D's. Who's the D? Okay, D's. D's are here. So can you come up here? We'll go D, I, S, C. How about that? Okay. Wait. Hold on.
So there is nobody else.
Is this right? Okay, D.
Correct.
Is eyes.
Yeah.
Just you guys?
Well, no, there's
Two rows, okay, so the eyes are here.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What are you guys?
C's.
C's.
You're C's.
What you told us.
That's it.
There's no S's.
No S's.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I've been doing this for years. Okay, this is gonna be really funny when you find out what our S's are. It's fascinating, okay? So D's are dominant,
Yes.
okay? I's are influence, okay? People, right? S's are steady relators. They want to make sure people are okay.
Oh.
And C's are conscientious people. Okay, conscientious, right? So the DISC is dominant, influential, steady, and compliant or conscientious. All right. So this is fascinating. Now, the dominant, like I said, was outgoing and task oriented. So you guys are dominant. All right, task oriented. You guys are outgoing and people oriented. All right, you like the parties. You'd rather go to happy hour. Okay, you just guys want to get it done.
I like happy
I do too, but I'm these guys. Okay? I'd rather be there than and so you guys are C's. Okay, you guys are more reserved and task oriented. So it's like you just like details, right? Big time. You're gonna read the manual. You guys are not. You're gonna skip. Yeah, you guys are in the wrong. So with these guys, okay. So we got this. We got these two guys here. You guys and you guys. Solid, task oriented. So you're task oriented. You're questioning. You're logical. You're objective. You're skeptical. You're challenging.
He's a C.
One more.
Looking at her going, you're not supposed to be over there.
How do you know that?
He's
my husband.
He does what he was told.
Just to be clear, you
I'm not outgoing.
Okay, so you're the other. Okay,
I
got it.
should be a C.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
C's
here.
are
We're back.
Still in the wrong
Come on back.
I know so much.
All right,
I know, Mike.
Speaking of husbands, okay, I do like couples counseling. I'm a therapist too. So, and I do premarital counseling, okay, for years, all right. And so I would get these people in the room and say, I said, why do you want to get married? They would say, well, they do some ridiculous reason. Like I was like, they never know why, right? It's like, well, because whatever.
Yeah.
And so I said, what's your
You over
personality?
there by yourself.
Are you task oriented or people oriented? Right? Are you outgoing or reserved? I'd ask them. Boom. I knew the personalities within 2 questions. And then I said, did you fight yesterday? They said, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I figured. And I would act out their fight. And they looked at each other and they said, how do you know that? We just had that same conversation. It's so predictable. It's crazy. Once you learn that, and so if you're task oriented, so now your I and your husband's C. Okay, that's going to be kind of cool later because I'm going to show you the interaction that I have here with my dad and I. I'm an I and he's a C. Okay, so the people are accepting. They enjoy interaction with others. They're recognizable. They are talkative. They're animated. They really, really like the kind of the social part, right? You want to get into it. You have a client come in, or a customer. What do you call them, customers or
Yes.
guests?
Yes.
They come in. You're probably talking to them for like an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. They come into you guys like an hour. It's not gonna help, right? You want to get it done for them. You want to find out. Okay. What do you need?
The whole story.
What do you want?
What do you want, right? Yes, we'll get to the point and give me some detail. Okay? You can't just say, hey, I need this. What do you need? It's like my brother. My brother's like, "You coming over?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, are you coming with the kids? Are you gonna bring anything? What time?" I didn't give him anything. I was like, he goes, "You never tell me anything." Well, dude, I told you I'm coming over on Saturday. That's not enough for him because he wants to read the whole. He's a C. Okay, so with that, the outgoing people are also dominant and influential. And this is pace and priority. This is about speed. Okay, this is about get it done now and it's done fast. So you guys want it done. Okay, so I'm a D2.
Check it off the list.
Check it off the list. If you love the list, right? You write the list, and you'll put down like, go to the bathroom, and it's like, oh, okay, I got it done, right? It's like that, because that's like kind of like me. I want to make sure it gets done, right? But once it gets done fast, I got a business partner. He's a C. I drive him crazy, and he's like, dude, he's like, you always want it done yesterday. I can get it done because I can motivate, but he gets it done right. Because everything's marked out, right? It's very, it's clean. It's always clean. It's always very, very good. So the outgoing is assertive. They have louder speech. They're dynamic and they're bold. So you're going to get this whole thing. This assertiveness, the dynamic, bold ideas, and the ability to kind of get things done. Now, reserved,
She doesn't know where she's at.
slower pace,
Oh, look, we have.
cautious.
We have an S.
She just moved in.
I know.
She's like, I'm an ass, what am I?
Yes.
I'm wondering what's going on here.
You don't know what you walked into.
Yeah.
Do you have one of these?
We're all gonna watch her circle.
Wait,
Needs to catch up.
Where did you come from?
Right through that door.
That door.
How do you know you're an S?
She just
said-
said,
Oh,
She
okay.
just said
The only six open.
Okay.
but I do like peace and harmony, so we're good.
The only campground owner in Pennsylvania is an S. The only campground owner in Pennsylvania that really cares about people.
There you go.
Really, thank God you're here because I would like skip this whole thing. And the thing is what you want to do is you want to make sure everyone's taken care of.
She just
She
walked
hasn't-
in the
she
room
has
and
walked in.
hasn't
She
done
hasn't
the
been.
evaluation, so she just took an empty
She needs to
seat.
take the sheet.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm profiling you.
I don't mean to distract this whole thing.
Okay, real quick. Are you outgoing or reserved?
I'm not so reserved. I'm outgoing.
Are you outgoing? Okay. Are you people oriented or task oriented?
People.
Okay, where's she land?
She's up
Right.
here.
Right.
I'm on the other side of the room.
Okay, let's get rid of the S.
Still know us.
No, listen to this room. I don't want to. You gotta come up here. Yes, I'm in.
Go with us.
You had to move.
Oh, no, we lost.
Friendship
I'm
takes
sorry.
being late.
See, that's the body goes there.
Okay, so you guys. Okay, you're down here, right? The conscientious, calm, methodical, careful, and soft speech. All right. So just in general, it doesn't mean like you're because we're all four, right?
No.
But for the most part, if you fall into this, this is more you're more methodical. Okay. Very smart and very detailed, and you want to make sure that things are working correctly. You guys get it done. The D's get it done, but you get it done right. You go for the party.
I'm definitely. My body's in slow
I had a
motion.
furniture company and did this quality stuff. And I test everyone, and it's like everybody was conscientious. Everybody was full understood. I mean, except 3. So you're hiring everybody like you. He wants because in his mind, if they came to him, he related to that. So he hired that. But they're in sales. So they had a great company, but guess who the people that didn't fit in? And the one guy, he was I think he was a dominant. He got fired. He had all kinds of trouble with this guy. They couldn't relate. They couldn't. That was personality styles, right? Because he couldn't relate because the guy was more demanding. He got stressed out. He got more demanding. He didn't really pay attention to detail. Everybody else was in the detail. Everybody else was very methodical. But he didn't fit in. They couldn't relate to each other. Turns out, let him go. He's like, he just couldn't do it. And so the way he ran his business is he ran it the way everybody thought together as a group think, except the outcome. So if you're building a team of people, what do you think you want? Do you want just one group? Why not?
As a leader, you should be challenged.
Okay. Challenge.
And it's nice to have different personalities around you that challenge you in different ways.
Yeah, because if you're working with these guys take forever to get something done. You need you guys. And you gotta lighten it up. It's like, hey, I'm just serious about this. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be no beers, right? So it's kind of like you need that ability to kind of play back and forth, okay?
And balance.
So, do opposites attract?
Oh, yeah.
True question.
Yeah.
Really? Do they?
We're completely opposite. Nothing. Similar personality, we're completely opposite.
Personality-wise, yeah,
Oh,
right?
Oh yeah,
But a lot in common.
we're best friends, like.
Best friends,
we,
right?
Yeah,
And you can have best friends with different personalities.
we look at things completely different, and we communicate that with each other, and we look at it from each other's angle.
And that's it. You're
Right.
seeing things at different angles and you're accepting that. But you could also drive me to crazy too.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
Here's why. Take a vacation.
he's very meticulous
Exactly.
about everything, like, fold everything, everything has to be, I'm like, it's sweatpants, throw it in the bag.
He has a checklist, right?
Yes,
Let's go through, let's make sure.
Now it's like,
Yeah.
I used to hate it, now I love it because everything's so well taken care of. Everything we have, if something's we resell something, or I'm looking for something and he's not in the garage or he's not in the house, I think like him and right there it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, where would Rick put this? Where would Rick put this? There it is.
So I had a boss who was a senior. Okay, so I'm like, I'm you, I'm not. And I'd write him an email, and man, he'd come back so many questions. I'm like, oh. He's like, what about this? What about that? What about that? I'm like, come on. And so I got used to that. So when I write an email, I'd sit and think and think and think and think. If he didn't respond to it, then you know? And then he'd get like, he made some how do you say that? Scotty. He'd make that, and then I'd find it on my desk. Like, that was his way of saying, hey, good job. It's got a great guy. He's retired now. He's a wonderful guy. I worked for 17 years. I worked with this guy. And, okay, so dominant, demanding, direct, determined, decisive, and you're a dictator. Right? Especially if you're under stress. If you're under stress, you get very demanding. Okay? And as a manager, you have to know that. I was a manager. I was a manager for years, and man, I was under so much stress, and I got so like demanding, and I just drove everyone crazy. But I'm also an I, which is a problem, because when I got stressed, I got sarcastic. What are you talking about? Because I get sarcastic and I get demanding, and it got really confusing, right? So once I learned that, I was like, why? We don't know how to take you, Dave. I hear that.
Right.
I don't understand where you're coming from. What do you mean? Like, I made them nervous because I was so stressed that I didn't know how I was communicating, and I was becoming less effective. You see what I mean? So you gotta, if you know yourself, then you really know how you respond to stress. Now, as a marriage, it's also important. You're an I. So if you get stressed out, like me, probably get a little sarcastic, right? Your communication changes. See, he's shaking his head. So when you get stressed, what happens?
See, that's what one plus.
You disappears. He disappears. So now you're
Shut up and go away.
you're chasing him around the
I'm like,
house.
no, we're not done.
Oh, yeah.
We're not done. We're not done. Leave me alone. I need my space. And that happens. But if you don't know that, then that happens 100, maybe 200 times, 1,000 times, not a day. How long's it been? So you can see the interaction, right? It's crazy, like how it works, and you say, well, why didn't our marriage work? We were bestie friends. We love each other, and it's because the communication is because under stress. When does it happen, right? And this isn't a relationship seminar, but I'm saying like it's all about relationships, right? If it's with your guests, with your spouse, with whomever, you have this whole process that happens. And when that happens over and over again, it's not happening, you're not familiar with it, then you can't fix it. You can't change. Because it's how we communicate. So if I'm going to communicate with you, and it's both of us, I have to understand, oh, he's quiet. What's going on, man? He's stressed out. Yeah, leave me alone. And a boss like that, I get stressed, he's stressed, I'm chasing him around the building. I can't find him. Same thing. And I'm like, come on, man, I didn't talk to you about this, I'm stressed out. And he's like, leave me alone. So I had to learn that. Once I learned that, it's so much easier. It's like, okay, I'll leave him go. He'll be cool. I'll go talk to somebody else. Okay, I'll cope with it. Influence, interactive, interpersonal, instrumental, impactful, and inspirational. These are the people that you guys want to make sure that it's a good time for your guests. It's my guess. Okay? So that's important for you. Important? On this side, we have nobody. We have nobody. That's stable, steadfast, secure, self-controlled, and slow to change.
Definitely not a campground owner.
Nope. You're definitely slow to change. Things change quick, right? Okay. And this is interesting because like with this type of style, this is about people being taken care of people. Okay, which kind of I thought would be part of this, but as we talk further, it's kind of interesting. You don't need this as an owner. Okay, you can hire people like this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have people on your staff that take care of this. Because you can't be this. You got somebody else doing it. You gotta have a whole team of people, you take care of that, and I gotta work on the other stuff. Make sense? So that's important to know. Because when you're hiring, you gotta have this quadrant in here, the steadies. If you don't have this, people aren't being taken care of as well as they could be naturally. Okay? Compliant, conscientious, careful, complete, comprehensive, conscientious, concise, and consistent. There's a big, it's interesting because you guys have to make sure your attention to detail, you own something. As owners, you gotta make sure that you got everything, all your P's and Q's in line, right? If you don't have that, that's a problem. Things fall off. You agree? What's your number one main thing that you think about every day? Owning a business.
Where's the money coming from?
That's your one.
Where's the money coming from? What's the number one thing you guys think of?
Is everything done here?
Is everything done?
Did I forget anything?
Did I forget anything? Right. And what do you guys think about every
Is our
day?
customers happy?
Customers happy, right? You see the different perspectives, okay? And so you guys probably have staff members in all four quadrants. Now you can hire people. Now you can say, I think we're lacking this, we need this, okay? And then you can shift. And maybe you kind of make it where I guess the question would be, there has to be a balance to have a good business. So if it leans to like my buddy towards all conscientious, all compliant, all C's, it works for him. But it could work better for him if he had different personality styles doing different things. See what I mean? So it depends on how you look at it. So as owners, what I want you to go away with is say, who's on my list here? Who did I hire? Why did I hire them? And what kind of style are they? And what am I missing? So, outgoing. So here it is. We talked about this, okay? It's you two. It's me. That's me. 10 years ago. And that's my dad. That's not my dad. That's just something I found online. What I'm going to say is my dad. Okay. And the reason is if you look at our styles, I'm an I, he's a C. I make decisions super quickly.
When you wear a purple shirt.
I wear a purple shirt. That shirt got old. I love that shirt. I wish I can't find that shirt.
It's because your wife threw it out.
She took the house and the shirt.
You said it on
You hear that? You hear that? It's good the internet love. So you got make decisions, shoot from the hip, and need information. Literally, I don't need much information. I can just take a little bit. I can put things together pretty quickly. Okay, it's just my style. Okay, I just don't need it. But because I'm okay with it, I'm comfortable with having the bullet points. Okay, you're shaking your head like
Absolutely, I'm saying,
but not him.
no, I don't need too much in there.
Make decisions slowly. Consider all the contingencies and consequences, and need every darn detail. Okay, and so I said to my dad, my kids were younger. I was like, "Hey, Dad, can you watch my kids for the morning or?" So I'm like, "Just say yes, right? Because I'll ask yes or no." He's like, "Yeah, well,
What does that entail? What are they gonna have for breakfast?
yeah,
What are you doing?
yeah."
It's their nap time. No, they're 12 and 13.
And he starts at 7 a.m. I'm like, Dad, can you tell me? And he gets all pissed off. Because I'm like, he's to think it through, right? So I've learned. So let me just wait. Dad can watch my kids. He's like, well, 7 o'clock, I said, get up, I have to take a shower. And then let's see, I could probably feed him something. Yeah, I could feed him, I got breakfast for him, yeah. And then, then let's see, 11 o'clock, I have a phone call, do that later. 1 o'clock, and he goes, oh my God, come on. I'm like, so I'm waiting, right? I've learned. And he's like, yeah, I can do it. And I swear, it happens every single time.
Right.
And he used to drive me crazy growing up. But he's a super smart guy, the nicest guy in the whole world. Like, if you walked in a room, you'd be like, everyone like this guy, never this guy, ever. So he's a super nice guy. But super smart, he had a spreadsheet, bought a car, he retired, bought a car. Literally, I swear to God, he had a spreadsheet like this with, I couldn't tell you, like, maybe 1,000 data points. It was like the type of car, year, gas mileage, you name it about a car, it was all in there, and it was like that. And he took him like a month to figure out how to buy. I think he bought this like sports car. What? It's a nice car. So that's the difference between the two, okay? And it's really important to know that also when you have the opposite here, where it's outgoing, dominant, and steady, and you have someone like Cindy and someone like John. Cindy wants to make decisions very quickly, right? John makes decisions carefully. We don't have anybody over in the S's, but once the main points, like we do, right? Considers everyone. Task first, people second. That's important to know. You want to worry about the task first. Then you guys are the opposite. People first, task second. Okay. And then people first, task second. Okay. This is the people. So that makes sense, right? So we talked about responses. This is the most important part of this. Once you get the 4, you got to know this. Let me go through this. I want you guys to understand this. Because once you understand this, remember 10% of this it's great. Okay. This actually changed my life because I can really profile somebody to the point where I can interact with them and know exactly how, when, and where, and how. And once I'm able to do that, then you're more effective. And it's very important. So for dominance, okay, the responses, your fears, being taken advantage of. The irritations, inefficiency, and decisiveness. I'm like, well, I don't know. Now, it sounds like you're indecisive if you're working with these guys, the C's. They're not. They're just taking their time. They're thinking it through. You got to be patient. Okay? You got to be patient with them. okay? Because he's just thinking it through. He's not indecisive. He's considering everything. There's a difference, okay? But it can be an irritant if you don't know that. Stress. Become, like I said, dictatorial, demanding. Security, you need control of the situation. Your track record, okay? If you go into my bedroom, I get like all my stuff, you know, the awards and everything, okay? You know what I'm saying? It's like all that stuff, okay? I want to show it off, right? Because the D's want to show it off. And the workplace, they want their workplace to be efficient. Very, you're right. So those are the behavior responses when you're looking at these. Influencers. Your fear is loss of recognition. I work for, I do some consulting for the county. Always make sure, like, hey, make sure they knew I did that. Oh, great idea. I want to be credited for that, right? I want to take credit for my work, right? Irritation, routines, and complexity.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a job as a manager. I was telling them routine, right? Drove me crazy. It's like, I need variety, right? Sarcastic, playfulness. You see, you want to have fun with it. You want applause. Okay, so you want to make sure you get credit for it, and you want the applause for it, and you want to be interacting. You love the meetings. Okay, throw me into any meeting. I love it. It's effortless for me. Okay, but give me a spreadsheet, and let me go through that and do the same thing over and over again. Hate it. Okay. This is the steady relators. Fears of sudden change. I work with a lady. She since I was like a high D, high I, she was a major S, as steady, not major S, is like not a major person. She's very nice. And she hated the changes because I made so many changes. I was always chucking and jiving, right? But see, I drove her crazy. Hey, Dave, let's talk about this, okay? Let's slow down.
Be crazy here.
Yeah. So I think you're being a little bit, that type of thing. Irritation, impatience. Stress, they're very submissive. Now, when you get an S and you get stressed and they get submissive, that's scary. Because, here's the thing, be careful. They will come at you and you won't even know it. They'll get back at you, and they get back at you in a way that you have no idea what happened. Yeah, it's scary, I know. Security through friendships. We were great friends. We were good business colleagues. Became very good friends and worked very well together. So the friendship was important to her. The depth of work, and it's very functional, okay? So you think about that profile, right? And then for the compliant fears, personal criticism.
Yeah.
I knew a guy, he was he worked as a compliance officer, and that was the one thing that he just lost his mind over anytime he was criticized. Because everything had to be perfect. If it wasn't perfect and someone criticized it, he lost his mind. He really bothered him big time. Okay. So then irritation, being disorganized, stress. When they get stressed, like you said, get withdrawn, right? You kind of go, you get really quiet. And then security is preparation. You want to make sure you prepare. And then your worth is quality of results and workplace is structure. Makes total sense. We talked about this for the last 45 minutes. This is important to know. Once you know that, then you know your profile, then you know how to deal with it. Just making sense. Raise your hand and say yeah. Okay. All right. So, back up. So think of someone. You can make your example, right? Can you think of somebody that's, now going back to my original question, who gets on your nerves, who do you get along with? Can you think of someone now that you thought about before, and now you understand, like, oh, that person, like, I can see why they got on my nerves. Does that make sense now? So once you know that, so the takeaways here, when you leave here today, I want you to realize that when you look at your staff, look at yourself first, what kind of personality, how do I deal with stress, and how do I deal with other people, and who do I need on my team to make my team stronger. And once you get that, you can build that team, and then you can also, your team that you have already, if you figure that out and see where they land, then you're saying, okay, well then I may make an adjustment, maybe I need someone here. I can put them maybe somewhere different. If that's the interesting part, you can put someone from here and give them a different job. If they're an I and you got them doing routine, that ain't good. Put them somewhere else. Put them in a meeting. Does that make sense? So from here, I do want to let you guys know that I do have the Unstoppable. This is the QR codes are on the back of there. There's also, I have some hard copies for the Venmo if you're interested in that. And I do want to let you know that I do have the 2 books here, but I also have a leadership program. It's an online leadership program. It's 6.5 hours. And it covers 21 lessons, 4 modules. It's very comprehensive. And you can just check that out. It's on the website. It talks about personality styles. It talks about hiring. It talks about mindset and things like that. So it's a very good program. And that's why looking for more information to take there. Please sign up for that. So it's the website. Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate that.